Alright, hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Slcmof here with two friends. Today we're going to be trying the first ever episode of our podcast. So we're just going to talk about anything. DC, Marvel Comics, movies, games, anything like that. And we're just going to be talking about that every single week. And so far, our podcast is called the Nameless Podcast because we don't have a name for it. So, if anybody has any good suggestions, please do leave that in the comment section below. Personally, anyway, I'm very unoriginative. I can't think of anything good for it. So that is what we're going with for now. But we do have the logo. Thank you to Asveria Berry. And also here with HMA. So it's going to be us and, any other guests we'll bring on as well. I'm sure we'll find some guests if it goes well. And just let us know what you think about this podcast in the comment section below. Basically, what you see on your screen now, we're going to light up each category as we go through it. I think we have about 4 or 5 categories to go through. We're going to be talking about it. And then in the description as well, you can see the timestamp if you want to fast forward. So we're going to talk about Return to Arkham later. If you just want to go ahead and fast forward past that, then you can go right ahead. So, all right, let's talk about... All right, so what we have on the schedule first. Marvel TV show controversy. Of course, there have been some shows getting canceled. However, the Marvel universe on Netflix has been going quite well, though, with The Punisher and everything else like that. So... you intro that for us. What you mean by controversy? Because it seems to be going quite well. I mean, with Punisher and Jessica
Jones,
it's not
particularly. It's not really particularly the Netflix series. It's more of the stuff on ABC, whatever channel. Yeah, Agents of Shield and Agent Carter's on.
I don't really watch that, honestly. I know Shield and then Agents of Carter. Do either of you watch it? I mean, I can't really speak on that. So.
I've very briefly watched Agents of Shield. I have watched season 1 and 2 of Daredevil, obviously because it's on Netflix, and that's the ones I'm really catered towards. Agents of Shield, haven't really watched much. Haven't ever seen Agent Carter.
Okay. What I've heard about all those shows is that they're very good amongst people that watch them, but nobody watches them. Not the non-Netflix ones specifically. But I've heard very good things about them, and the Marvel fans I know that watch them very much so enjoy them. I just don't know anybody that actually watches them, to be truthful with you. So that's what I mean. So which one got canceled? That's my question.
Agent Carter got cancelled. I think it was because of people weren't really watching it. I think the reviews went down for it as well. I think that's the same thing with Agents of Shield. But the thing with Agents of Shield, Marvel have the Inhumans movie scheduled. Well, it got pushed back, and Agents of Shield mainly revolves around the Inhumans, so that's why they're a bit scared, a bit skeptical to cancel that. But it looks like they're going to have to, because the reviews have gone down, and no one's really watching it anymore. So and then obviously with the controversy with people inside the cast saying,
explain that.
Right, basically, I can't remember who exactly it was, but one of the actors in Agents of Shield was basically talking smack at Marvel and sending shots for Marvel, saying, "Oh yeah, the movies don't reference the TV shows at all. So what's the point in the TV shows ever existing?" The cast just feel a bit, a bit betrayed in a way.
Like it's not important to the MCU, which they're not. They're not.
Well, they are part of the MCU, and they just feel like, oh yeah, we need a bit more reference. In the
but should it be? Should it be important to the MCU? I don't think so, because nobody watches these things.
Not necessarily important, but at least like a reference, kind of like how they kind of do reference Jessica Jones. They reference who do they reference? And I think Winter Soldier. They reference someone that's had a TV show.
Do they reference Daredevil? I thought
no.
Luke Cage.
Frank Castle was in Winter Soldier. Like, he was referenced in it somewhere. I remember that.
Really?
All right, I know Daredevil. Yeah, this is the thing. It's the other way around, because most of the TV shows end up referencing the movies, but the movies hardly ever reference TV shows at all. Because Daredevil have done that with the Avengers.
I know in the pilot of Daredevil, there's that big thread with all the business guys meeting, and they're talking about, the Avengers and stuff like that. But, I see what you're saying. It's not like the reverse. Nobody in the movies talks about the TV shows, really. Not even a reference. I find that weird, to be truthful with you. I do find that weird.
Yeah, exactly.
That they don't even... and even the successful ones, Punisher, and I guess at the point in which they're writing the script for Civil War, for example, they don't know if those shows are going to turn out well, because that's years ago. So I imagine for Infinity War, they will have the... specifically the Netflix shows, because those are the ones people care about.
Mm-hmm.
They might reference them, but they were already confirmed not to appear in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
You read about that, right?
Yeah. I've seen that.
Yeah, but this is the thing, because there was a rumor about the Kingpin being in Spider-Man Homecoming, which we're going to get onto in think it's the next topic about Spider-Man Homecoming specifically.
Yeah.
But there was a little rumor going around that the Kingpin was going to star in the movie, and that got me thinking, because is this maybe the first glimmer of hope for the TV shows in terms of movie success? But at the end of the day, the Kingpin is completely a rumor, not confirmed or not. I don't really think it's going to be true, to be honest. But obviously, that rumor is a rumor. Go on.
I was going to say that the Kingpin in the Daredevil series is very brutal, and I'm guessing Spider-Man is going to be more geared to the younger audience, more like 8 to 13 years old, because the Spider-Man, family character. So I don't see how they're going to take a character who in the first few episodes he appeared into the TV show where he bashed the guy's brains in with a car door. I don't see how they're going to transition that into the movie.
But to counter that, I've got two things to say. First of all, Kingpin was primarily a Spider-Man villain to start off with. Two, hardly anyone watches the Netflix series to know that Kingpin's going to be a brutal character. So really, if they wanted to, they could take the chance and start Kingpin off completely fresh, or maybe set it before he was as brutal as he is in the Netflix series.
Want to know what I think about... this is a little different than what you're saying. Spider-Man kind of goes off what HMA was saying, that it's going to be geared towards more kids. I'm calling it right now. Somebody can quote me that they're going to make Spider-Man Homecoming PG. I'm calling it. They're going to make it a PG movie.
There's different ratings. There's different ratings here in the UK and
yeah, that's true. So PG basically is like 8 or 9.
8 no.
Yeah.
I know what each rating is. I'm just saying that the ratings for each films are different in the UK and in the US. That Deadpool's rated R is 15 here. So.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
But I would not be surprised.
PG. I don't see how.
Well, it's a Spider-Man film, so it's going to be catered to a much younger audience than what they're.
I know, but like the Raimi Spider-Man movies, they were noticeably clean for the first couple movies. Nothing super. Well, they had a guy bleeding for like one scene, and that's it. And those still earn PG-13 because they have pretty intense action. Now, if they're going to do it in Homecoming, then they're going to have to rate it PG again. It's going to have some action.
I was just thinking about like in episode 1, or not episode, like the first one of that trilogy. There's a scene where Green Goblin like blows people, like, he has those grenades that like incinerate people, and it's like, okay, so the grenades don't blow anybody up; they turn into CGI skeletons. It's like, come on. But that was PG-13. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe it will.
That was probably to get rid of the gore factor, sort of. But
yeah.
But
well, I'm just saying, like, even they didn't blow anybody up, and it still was PG. Okay, anyway, what were you saying?
Yeah, back to the TV shows. I was going to get on to about controversy in terms of the success.
Yeah.
And obviously the TV shows are going to see some sort of success because they've even started pre-production on the Punisher Netflix series based off the success of Daredevil. So then that's going to be an even more further success, as well as a potential build-up for the Defenders. And I feel the Defenders, once that's finished, then they have a much higher chance of being included in the movies.
From what I've heard is that Iron Fist is already filming right now. Like, there have been set pictures released, and they're going to start production on the Defenders later on this year, right when Luke Cage is going to get released.
Yeah, Luke Cage comes out. Yeah,
September. And then Jessica Jones. They're
doing a Luke Cage series? Are you fucking kidding me? Really?
No, because Luke Cage is part of the Defenders, isn't he?
Yeah, he's part. But Jessica Jones season 2 is going to film right next to the Defenders. So I wonder if they're going to release Jessica Jones before or after, and if they're not going to get referenced, and the Defenders aren't, because the Defenders I don't think will be out by the time Infinity War is out. If you get what I mean.
Yeah.
This is what I always feel as though I think that DC should be trying to do this. What Marvel is doing, DC should be doing this, like getting away from the CW. And shared universe, and then also, well, I guess the problem is, like with the Flash, but isn't it true that the way the licensing works, that Flash will have to get canceled once Flash appears in the DCEU?
Oh yeah, because of embargoes, isn't it?
Yeah. It'll have to get canned, so like, I don't know, that's just a big mess. Okay, anyway, what were you saying? Go ahead.
Well, I wasn't going to say anything.
Okay, sorry. But that's what, they're doing it right at Marvel, even though I think, like, the Luke Cage series is pushing it, like, I don't know, like, does Punisher, yes, he probably should have a series, but
Luke Cage is a pivotal character in Jessica Jones. If you haven't watched it, he's quite a good character. So.
They become their husband and spouse in the comics, kind of like how Scarlet Witch and Vision get married, and they're setting that up in Civil War. So they're probably gonna have a
What?
relationship.
They did not
they
set
already
that
have-
up in Civil War.
Yes, they
She
did.
shot
Yeah, they
him down to the center of the Earth's
She
core.
felt bad for it though.
They sort of
She
did.
felt
It wasn't
bad.
really done.
She felt bad for it. Oh, that makes it better. That's good bonding there. Oh, he was making paprika for her, and then as a response, she shot him down to the Earth's core.
But it's Vision. It's nothing to Vision.
That's true. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but they were teasing it. They were really teasing it in Civil War. Like you walked
No,
out
they
and you were
were.
like,
When you first saw him, I thought they were gonna make out. Like when he was like when they were like intermingling, and then he got all serious and was like, "You're not leaving."
Yeah.
It's like shit. Okay. So anything else we have to say there about the Marvel TV's universe or anything?
Not really. I feel like in terms of the movies, it would just be the Netflix series, which only sees a glimmer of hope.
Yeah.
When it should be the ABC, whatever channel that is. It should be that stuff as well, because it's got Agent Coulson, who's in the Avengers, Shield,
Yeah.
who's obviously in pretty much all the Marvel films. So really, if anything, bring those TV series into more significance, or make them part of the make a deal with Netflix so they can obviously interject the stuff with Agents of Shield into shows like Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Defenders, all that
But
stuff.
at that point, there comes a line where you're forcibly making it pertinent to the MCU, and it feels as though Marvel is making it that way just to get you to watch. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
That's something I felt like
yeah.
they like all the DC shows. Even though I have some of my problems with some of the shows, I do feel as though they tell their own stories and they stand on their own. Like at that point, it very much so feels like corporate overreach, and they're like, "Hey, watch this because it's canon to the MCU, and it's very important, and you need to see it to it'll enrich your experience or whatever." And I would be fearful of that. I would say.
Going
suppose
back
so,
to the DC situation is they have 3 different universes going on right now with Powerless, that shitty comedy thing. They have
It's
the
terrible. It's
CW
terrible.
thing. They have the CW universe, which is Arrow and Flash and Legends of Tomorrow.
And Supergirl.
And Supergirl.
Well, they just added that, so that could be a
But
tone for everything.
Supergirl's
And then
on
they're-
Earth too. But it's still
And then now they're having a show called Krypton coming to Sci-Fi. Have you guys heard about that?
No.
It's
Yeah.
apparently
Yes,
canon
I
to the
have.
DCU. So they're
Yeah.
going to have one that's canon to the movies, one that's canon to itself, and one that's canon to its own thing. And it's just like,
Oh God, my brain.
They're
Yeah, it's just a bit
overdoing
all
it.
over the place.
yeah.
But the problem with Marvel, here's the problem with Marvel, is that you can't bring in significant characters that well. Like, Jessica Jones, pretty much a no-name character for all intents and purposes. She's important, yes, in the comics world, but in terms of pop culture presence, not really. But she's done very well. But the thing is, you can't have, like a character like the Flash of that level. That's an A-level, A-grade comic book character on a television
Yes.
show. If you make the DC TV universe canon, then all those characters have to go. You have to start bringing up B-list type characters. I mean, I'm trying to think. Like, you could have like a Mr. Freeze show or something like that. You could have Martian Manhunter, who I wouldn't consider B-list otherwise, but in the way that they've treated him in New 52, I would say he's that at that point now. Or a sidekick show, Robin or Batgirl or something like that is basically what you're being limited to if you make it canon. So I do like that you can have some. Well, Supergirl could have her own show. I would consider her B-list ish. But like Flash or Arrow, those are gone. They're you couldn't have that.
Yeah.
So
They're never going
that's-
to make another Supergirl movie because they already made one in the 80s, and it's probably
And it
one
was
of
terrible.
the worst movies.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
Yeah. I've
So I
never
don't
seen
think
it,
they're ever. It's bad.
but... Did you watch the whole thing?
Because really she is a B-list character anyway, and with obviously Warner Brothers have the rights to literally all of any DC character they want to. Unlike Marvel, they can bring all the A-list characters into the movies, bring the B-list characters like Supergirl, make a TV show if it is possible by that time.
I don't think it's
Because
better
I know they've already got
necessarily.
one,
One's
so.
better than the other. I mean, I like that they can tell their own stories, and if DC is known for anything, it is known for the multiverse. So, I mean, it's basically what they have. If you think about it, that's what the DC TV universe and it's a multiverse, basically, just a very convoluted one. might I add.
I suppose so.
So,
yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I could see it go either way. All right.
Go.
Anything else to say there?
No, not really.
All right. Okay. So now we're gonna talk about you guys again. This is gonna be your thing because I don't know the. Well, okay. Here's the news. So Michael Keaton is going to be in Spider-Man: Homecoming. He's been confirmed. Correct? That's right, Barry?
Yeah, back in the tour. was the same day or the day after he was confirmed to be in the movie. It's just the role he's playing is unconfirmed at the moment.
Okay, so what's the speculation as to who he's playing? My guess and what I've seen is Vulture, but you say that it may be something else.
Right, so the leaked plot, I did read it brief. If you don't want me to say it, then I won't spoil it for you, but
okay.
It's basically what I'm going to say is just one potential character that's going to be in it. It's a rumored leaked plot, so it might not be real or not. But apparently, Norman Osborn will be in the movie. So then that raises the speculation. It could either be one out of 3 people personally. It could either be Vulture, which is plausible, Norman Osborn, which is even more plausible because he looks like Norman Osborn. So it would only make logical sense to cast him.
Does he?
Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah, he does. An older Norman Osborn, he does.
I don't see why they would do that, though, because they've had Norman Osborn in all 3, in 2 Spider-Man universes, where he's basically done nothing in them. He's died in both of them, literally.
Did he die in The Amazing Spider-Man? I've not seen those.
Yeah, he died in it.
He dies? Right.
Yeah.
No. Amazing Spider-Man 2, he got locked up in prison.
No, he was the dying guy in bed. I'm talking about Norman Osborn, the older guy.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. Yeah,
Dies in the, and he,
You're talking about the Green Goblin.
He gets Superman
Not the Hobgoblin,
in the first Spider-Man movie.
Okay, okay.
Right, so there's obviously Vulture, Norman Osborn, but one person I thought of was Ezekiel Sims. Now, Ezekiel Sims is someone who has the same powers as Spider-Man. He got them differently, but he pretty much has the same powers. But instead of using, obviously, the great power becomes great responsibility, living by that motto, he ditches that, and he's more infatuated in and adamant about that and the money he makes in the business from a business perspective. So really, he's like Bruce Wayne, just with the self-pittiness, pretty much.
Well, okay, I'll take issue with that, just to kind of have fun. I don't think that Bruce Wayne is interested in money.
No. I was saying like he's as rich as obviously Bruce Wayne.
I see what you're saying.
Instead, he's more selfish.
Okay,
about
got it.
his powers and stuff.
Because Bruce Wayne was just born a billionaire. I mean, he's not like money hungry or anything. I mean, sure. I mean, he makes money in his career, but
he had it handed to him.
Obviously, that's the flaunt of his money, but obviously not much to the point where he's an arsehole like Tony Stark or someone.
Right. Well, he does flaunt it a little bit, Bruce Wayne.
Yeah,
not too much.
He flaunts it when he's playing Bruce Wayne, when he's not actually Batman.
Yeah.
Because Bruce Wayne is a character in the comics.
He is a character.
In all perspective. That's not the actual Bruce Wayne. Right. Batman's more or less likely the real Bruce Wayne at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. But Ezekiel Sims, why I think it would really work is because it sort of explores the morals of both Spider-Man and Ezekiel Sims. Because if you have read I actually have the graphic novel right here. It's called... Oh yeah, what a coincidence! It's called Coming Home. What's the film called?
Totally
Spider-Man
not pre-planned.
Coming.
Okay, sorry, what?
It's part of a graphic novel collection.
Okay.
And Ezekiel Sims, basically, if you were to put them 2 in, it would make logical sense because it'd obviously be a lot of character development in a solo movie, but then it wouldn't really mind because he's already been in Civil War and you've already been introduced to how Spider-Man really is. So personally, I feel a more emotional story like something like Spider-Man 2 sort of story for his first solo film would make sense. And Ezekiel Sims is a very good character to start off with because the points that he makes in that graphic novel is really like you can understand where he's coming from. And if all Marvel Studios really need to do is sort of make that prevalent in a movie, and then it would be good personally.
My thing with the Spider-Man solo movie is I don't think that it will focus very heavily on an antagonist throughout in the same way that, for example, like the first Spider-Man did. I think it will focus a lot on Peter Parker in school in New York, kind of living a teen life because we've never really had him in that stage. We always have Tobey Maguire, who's like old fart Spider-Man, shouldn't even be playing Spider-Man. Honestly, he's a great Spider-Man, but he's too old. So we now have the right age, the kid that's right age. I would say maybe like 2 years too young, but anyway, in the ballpark for sure.
He's 15 or 16.
No, the actor is 20.
The actor is 20.
Yeah, he's 20. I mean, Spider-Man, Peter Parker in the movie is going to be 15 or 16.
15.
Which is perfect age for like the ultimate storyline where he is a younger kid.
It is. Yeah. I still think his voice is too high. It kind of annoys me. I'm one to speak with a squeaker voice, but anyway, I think that his voice is too high. But no, he's a very good Spider-Man, and I think that that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna maybe show MJ equivalent or somebody like that.
Zendaya is cast as someone called Michelle. I don't know.
She was already confirmed not to be.
It's obviously Zendaya because Disney. So
yeah,
she was already confirmed not to be a love interest a while.
Oh, she's
ago.
not. Thank God.
She's
Thank
like
God.
But there might be someone else who will play a love interest. It's not confirmed yet.
I'd bet Gwen Stacy at first, and
they're gonna make him gay. They're gonna make Spider-Man gay. Hashtag give Cap America a boyfriend. No, but I do think that's gonna be. I really do feel like he's gonna be doing like low level stuff and living kind of a teenage life, and it's gonna focus on him balancing, like the Algebra 2 stuff, like that. That's all funny. Like when he's in there with Tony Stark talking about it, I was like, but I got homework. Like that aspect of him is very interesting. We've not really seen that. We've not seen that all that well. Well, I haven't seen The Amazing Spider-Man, so I can't say that. Anyway, in the Tobey Maguire trilogy, we didn't really see that. So, and he's not at the age where he's, not flipping pizzas, delivering pizzas. So I think that could be a great way to explore. But I mean, no doubt there will be a villain. I'm not saying that there's not.
Yeah.
But it'll just be more played down.
It will be more played down.
It would also just be fresh not to have a love interest for this time round. To be perfectly honest, because that's sort of it. I think that just takes away from that the nerdy aspect of Peter Parker.
He's too young to have. I don't know. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, like with the other films, that you sort of forgot he was 15, you could just let it slide. But with someone who genuinely looks 15, he's 19. Yeah. Tom Holland's going to be 20 when they start shooting the film, I think. Yeah. So, yeah, someone who looks 15 and you're trying to make a love story for him, it just comes across as a bit awkward and it'd just be fresh for just have a Spider-Man movie without any some sort of love interest. See how that works, because it can work. It can work.
It comes across as very kind of kiddish and sophomoric, I think, if you try to take a love relationship seriously at that young of an age, in my personal opinion. So they have to make sure that it feels like there's gravity to it. But it also is going to be very fun, much like Civil War was very fun when I feel like it shouldn't have been, but that's my opinion. But I think it will be even more fun, and it's going to be very comedic, and it's going to make sure that they appeal to large audiences. And I still would not be surprised if that movie gets PG. Because, I mean, for me anyway, my first superhero was Spider-Man, period. That was my first, Batman and all this, none of that came in later, and now my walls are littered with Batman posters, but that's not the way it was. I didn't read a Batman I did read, like, the kids' Batman comics, but large in part, Spider-Man is what I read, so that's kind of, I think that's a lot of people's first superhero as well, and I think everybody can relate to, like, having Spider-Man PJs when you're, like, 3 years old and you don't even know who Spider-Man is, really, at that point. You just know that he's, like, a spider and a man kind of thing. Exactly. Like, the basic premise of him.
Yeah. No one wants to be Peter Parker, but everyone wants to be Spider-Man, that type of deal.
Right. And that's not necessarily the case with Batman and Bruce Wayne. I would love to be Bruce Wayne. It's pretty rich. Okay, so so any other speculation we have with Michael Keaton or anything else to say now?
I just think it helped the film financially as well. Financially, because it's Spider-Man. Everyone knows Spider-Man. Plus Michael Keaton, who used to be fucking Batman. So if Iron Man 3 can gross over $1 million, then this film definitely can. Because I actually don't understand how Iron Man 3 grossed over $1 billion. To be completely honest with you. It's almost like it just did, and like obviously with Spider-Man, everyone knows Spider-Man. You got Michael Keaton, you got popular faces like Zendaya as well.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say popular. She's like popular.
She's pretty damn popular with the hipster crowd, like young kids.
Yeah, she's got a really successful music career going with her now as well.
You have to really suck ass if you're not a popular Disney star if you're a Disney star and your music career doesn't take off. You don't even have to be good. Selena Gomez is literally a trash singer. Like, she sucks ass if you've heard her sing live. But she's famous, and she, like, has very popular... I mean, her pop music's okay when she has auto-tune on, but, like, if you heard her live, she cannot sing. Oh, God.
Demi Lovato is terrible.
Yeah.
Selena Gomez is terrible.
Yep.
And
Miley Cyrus.
No, she can sing. She can sing.
Yeah, but look what she turned into.
Yeah, she's crazy. She's psycho, but she can sing.
She's not crazy. She knows how to make money. Yeah. And that's the thing.
Yeah. No, I think she's crazy.
She's smart.
Too. Yeah.
She's crazy, but she's smart.
Okay.
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah.
So, I think that's good for that. Let's talk about Return to
Oh,
Arkham.
yes.
Yeah,
I've
everybody's
been waiting for this.
favorite
I've been waiting for
remaster.
this.
We've always
remaster.
wanted, all we've asked for this generation is what? More remasters. We said PS4 and Xbox, we don't have enough remasters for these consoles. We want more. Now, this will be the first remaster I ever buy, hopefully ever will. I despise remasters. But admittedly, I'm excited for this. I can't lie that I am excited for Arkham Remastered. So let's take a... I know what you're about to say, HMA. God damn it. Are you going to buy it? I'm going to buy it.
No.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
you're not going to
definitely.
buy HMA, is that right?
No.
You're not going to buy it.
No.
I feel like you're lying. You're lying. You're going to buy it.
I'm gonna pirate it if possible. I'm gonna fucking.
You can't
check
pirate
that.
a fucking console game. What are you talking about? Are you talking about game sharing?
Yeah.
Okay,
probably.
that's not really pirating. Let's not act like you're cooler than you are. It makes you sound like you're a mad hacker, bro. That's just file sharing. Okay, so, well, that's this. HMA, why aren't you buying it?
Because in a generation full of remasters,
Yes.
the last thing we need are more remasters that look worse than the original game, might I add. The
Does it,
remaster
though? Okay.
looks terrible.
Holistically, does it really look worse? I'm asking
Yes.
you to this. You think so? What do you think?
Less
Barry?
detail. Less detail.
I think the comparisons are kind of harsh because they're comparing it against PC.
But it should look hand over fist better. There should be no contemplations. And by the way, the Return to Arkham trailer does not specify that it uses in-engine footage, and if that's the case, then they will specify it because that helps them. But in that they did not specify its in-engine footage, as they did with the Battlefield trailer, for example, we can presume that that is also PC-generated for Return to Arkham.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's
Most of
not
the comparisons they made as well were compared to cutscenes, and cutscenes look a lot better than they actually do in-game. But that's what I found with PS3 and Xbox 360 Arkham Asylum specifically. But I think it's just a bit harsh.
Here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say in my analysis. What I've noticed is that the character models are not better on PS4. They're not. In fact, they're worse. They're worse.
The environment's better.
But the that's right. But the environments are better. Like if you saw my video of the graphics comparison, and the line just comes across, like you see it on the Asylum, like on the picture of the Asylum. To me, it's head over fist better. Like,
but the thing is about them updating the environments is I feel that they're making it more colorful looking, especially in like the scene where he's wheeling in Joker. Arkham Asylum is supposed to be a place that looks dirty and damp, and you don't want to be there. And they're making it more inviting in this remaster, which is the opposite of what they should do. They should make it as disgusting looking as possible.
That's fair. And I think that also the dark bluish tint, this is just my opinion, has been kind of like toned down a good bit in this remaster. Like the darkness to it. And it feels much more like, oh, the full moon is extra bright today. It's almost like we're under the sun.
Yeah.
That's how bright it is. And even though the moon is
big,
big, is fucking massive in Arkham games, it's not supposed to be that bright in an Arkham game.
Yeah, you raised a good point there about
it's like someone went into Arkham Asylum and turned up the brightness meter all the way.
I don't really mind it in City though because it makes it a more immersive experience because you're
You don't
technically
really
in the
see
city.
much of City though. City's not supposed to be dirty necessarily. It's just supposed to look cold, with all the snow and that type of stuff. And how wet it looks.
But obviously with the colours, it makes you more like involved in the actual environments. So that's why I don't really mind it for City.
The thing is, when they show Batman and the Arkham City, you can see the raindrops going down his cape and like his cowl. You remember that? They made it more they made it more Arkham Knight style, and that'll just kind of improve it, I think. But I just don't see it improving with Arkham Asylum.
So let me ask you this then, HMA. Sorry, you can go over that. I'm just curious.
Go on, it's fine. I forgot.
So do you own a PS3 or Xbox 360?
I own a 360. Yeah.
Do you own Arkham Asylum and Arkham City for that 360?
Yes.
Okay, so you're in a whole different ballpark than me. Because from my perspective, I've not played the game for... Okay, the last time I played Asylum and City were before Night came out, because I wanted to replay both of them. That's the last time I played either. So I'm coming from the perspective of I just want to play the games again, even if the graphics are not that much improved, which I really don't think they are, in my personal opinion. The environments are better, but it's not, my concern is, like, they're side-by-sides, and this is a video idea that I had, so nobody steal it out there, where I wanted to do something of, like, you put a side-by-side image and be like, which is PS3 and which is PS4, and I bet you that some people would get it wrong. That should never be the case. It should be obvious in every remaster which is next gen and which is now. Some people may be able to tell because like, oh, his hair is solid black rather than being mixed with gray. It's solid black. But, that's cheating. I wanted to be like, you should be able to tell blatantly which is the better game on next gen. And part of it's because these, in my opinion, the PS4 and Xbox One are just not good consoles relative to in terms of their advancement.
No.
So,
like, PS2 to PS3, it was a whole different ballpark type in the graphics and how they played and stuff. Now, literally, every game plays the same, but they just look a little bit better. That's how I see this console.
Really down to the developers.
Yeah. Like, I've played masterpieces that look great and feel different, like, say, Uncharted 4, even though I didn't necessarily like the game. It definitely felt next-gen compared to, like, Killzone and Battlefront, and even Arkham Knight in a way.
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah.
Okay, so Barry, what are your thoughts on Batman Return to Arkham? Are you going to buy it, and what are your just overarching thoughts?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to buy it.
Okay.
I'm willing to pay the full amount for it. Is the Joker stuff in Arkham Remastered?
Yes. It's coming for Xbox One and PS4. All the DLC.
Alright then. Okay. Alright, so that's good. But one thing I'm hoping for is no loading times, which I don't know if they have even thought of. Because loading times, obviously no loading times was a big part of Arkham Knight. You could just walk in somewhere and not have it load up anything.
I think it's going to be a copy and paste of the game from 2009 in next gen. My personal opinion. I think they're not like people like, oh, are they going to add this skin? Are they going to? No, I don't think so. I don't think, because if there was a trait like that where they're adding side missions, they're adding additional content to the game, that would be up in front. That would be up in front in our face. That would be a part of the marketing campaign right now. But since it's not,
I'd buy it if it had a bunch of new content.
There's E3 as well. There's E3, so they could obviously unveil more about the game. Features and stuff at E3.
If I'm running this game, I'm adding side missions to both of these games. Like I'm adding an extra wing to the asylum. On City, I'm adding an extra part of the city where you can go underground and do more there. I'm adding like 3 or 4 side missions, and that will get people like HMA to buy the game that otherwise wouldn't, because they have a 360 and PS3, and the graphics aren't that much better. So that's the way you counteract that, is by actually adding content.
Yeah.
I don't own Asylum. I don't own Asylum on 360. I own it on PC though, but then again, I don't have a PC currently. So,
but you've played it so much from what I'm gathering, talking to you, you don't feel this desire or need to get it like right now on next gen.
No, it just doesn't feel much. It's the same base game that I've played through about 30 times, just with a shittier coat of paint on it.
Yeah, I think right now it's just a case of the most they're going to add is like little Easter eggs and stuff. But at the end of the day, everything about this game is just a matter of sitting back, waiting, and then they'll unveil more like E3 and other conventions, more trailers and stuff. Because we don't know the full capabilities of this game. We don't even know if part of that trailer was in-game, like engine generated. So I think it's just a case of waiting right now.
The only other time I've ever played like a Virtuous developed port or anything was Heavy Rain on PS4. They didn't even include the DLC in that game. They didn't even include the Heavy Rain DLC in the remaster.
I haven't played Heavy Rain, so I don't know.
Yeah, they shared it off HMA, but I haven't played it.
Yeah, you can't even play it anymore.
Virtuous as well. Like, they've got a lot more people, not more developers than say a company like Rockstar. Yeah. So really, you should be expecting them to add these different features, like better graphics, which obviously are controversial, no loading times, all these next-gen capabilities, which they probably won't even do, to be honest. But then that also raises the question, are they just 1,000 people of headless chickens just copy and pasting the game, making it compatible for next-gen? So, I don't know, it just raises a lot of speculation, to be honest. I'm very iffy about it at the moment, personally.
Yeah.
This is what I was talking about, HMA. I think you might have been in there as well, Barry, in the Skype call. And we were talking about how, basically it's weird that the Virtuous has 1,000 employees. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like, they have that. Yeah. That's ridiculous. Yeah. And this is, seemingly the only game and it's kind of like WB Montreal, a studio that has 400 people and they work on Lego games for a full year. Like, in the last 3 years, literally, here's the two games they made. They made a mobile Lego game, Legends of Chima or Cheetah, whatever the hell.
Chima Online, that was defunct by the next year. Like, they pulled the plug on it after a
Did
year.
they really? Okay, so there was that, and then they made, guess what? The Batgirl DLC. That's what they've made in the last 3 years. A studio of 400. So that's why, that to me, when you're talking about, Superman game theories, that's, to me, evidence right there. In the last 3 years, they've done fucking nothing besides make a shitty Lego game. And then the Batgirl DLC, a shitty DLC. Exactly. So, that's interesting to me. So
even if you're down to, like, how they make their games, the DLC for Arkham Knight, it was empty. It had better animations than the main game for, like, Batgirl, like how she moved was just more creative.
Yeah.
But she didn't play as well. She didn't feel as fluid as the other characters. She didn't have any of the combos.
And there was nothing interesting about her character. Like, she didn't have any unique gadgets or anything. Like Nightwing, he has a unique gadget.
Yeah, she's just a copy and paste of Batman. Even the combat stuff in Arkham Knight most of it is just Batman.
But she's not Batman. She's not a copy paste Batman because she doesn't have as many gadgets as he does. She can't do as much. So she's she's Batman light is what she is.
Yeah, but all the gadgets that she does have is Batman stuff.
Correct.
And she has slightly more better animations, like
that's
the way she does her flip. That's all.
Yeah.
Yep.
She just looks better.
I think we should talk about remastering Origins and if that's a possibility in the future.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
No.
Okay. Well, okay.
I have 100% of Origins, and I don't want it.
I wouldn't mind it, to be honest.
No,
I mean, if they don't add on,
I didn't mind Origins. Yeah, it messed up the continuity a little bit, but I didn't mind it as a game overall.
Like, if they add it to the price, if they make it a full $60 game along with like Arkham Remaster, because they're gonna have to add the price in somehow, because that's a newer game and it'll have more things like more lighting to do and stuff like that. It'll obviously cost more to make, so they're gonna have to upgrade the price from £40 or $50 into $60.
Personally, I would, if it was to get remastered, I'd be happy because I liked Origins personally.
Scrub. No, I understood. I've never played it. Everybody knows this. I've never played it. I don't intend to. I don't particularly care to. I played 3 hours of it, and I was like, this is just a copy and paste of City. It's like, why is this game a thing? I don't know. But I can understand why some people want it. For a lot of people, it's their first Arkham game. I didn't know that was the case, but a lot of people are telling me that. So, I wanted to read off a few of the comments in my video. I've got it pulled up here. This is my video, Batman Return to Arkham, worse graphics than last gen. So I was pointing out how, some of the things like Hugo Strange looks fucking god-awful in the remaster. Yeah. So Jonathan says, thank you, finally someone who's brave enough to make this video. Dirk11Wave says, this has nothing to do with the game engine. So he was saying that the graphics have nothing to do with Unreal Engine 4. This is kind of what HMA was saying, and he can explain it better than me, so I'll have him do that. I was basically saying that, like, maybe Unreal Engine 4 changes the graphics, but I don't know much about games, so whatever. You
want me to go?
Yeah, well, explain the engines, because I don't understand all of it, really.
So, Unreal Engine 3 is like this, it's like a solid ball, and Unreal Engine 4 takes that ball and kind of expands it, so it's a little bit, has more mechanics to it. Graphics aren't really a question, because Arkham Knight was still built on Unreal Engine 3, if you didn't know, but games like, I'm trying to think what's built on Unreal Engine 4 right now.
I don't think much.
Horror game named Outlast.
Okay.
2, I think. That game looks great. Graphics have nothing to do with it. It's just a lazy porting company and the cost of porting it to the next engine,
And here's what I'll let you go after this, Barry. Here's what kills me about I feel so bad because like a lot of my younger subscribers are very hopeful, but a lot of the comments in this video, like this one right here, this is like, honest to God, this was just the first one right here. Boy, this game isn't even out yet. Virtuous will end up fixing it. Again, this just goes into my point perfectly. This is not planned. This like literally is the first comment here. They made Infamous, so they know what they're doing. Okay, and then actually Captain Under Trent says, what? They didn't make Infamous, Sucker Punch did. Okay, so you're wrong there, Boy. But anyway, Boy is not the only one saying something like this. It's the game's not out yet. Virtuous will end up fixing it. In what I understand,
can't fix graphics in 2 months.
Exactly. What I understand about video game production, which is very little, but still, I would imagine that this game is being printed right now. Well, and they're getting prepared to ship it out.
Because pre-orders are being placed right now, so obviously they have to, aren't they? Yeah,
they
start shipping them out too. retailers.
The thing that they're doing right now, because it's not gold yet, they're not printing right now. They actually have to announce when they're printing.
Okay.
It's called going gold.
Right.
I'm sure you've heard that term.
I have.
Well,
Yeah.
right now they're probably just fixing bugs that were carried over. That's all I can see them doing right now, which is simple if you think about it in terms of
they're
game.
not correcting all of Hugo Strange's every
Visual
single one of his
bugs aren't
scenes.
a thing.
Yeah.
Visual bugs aren't a thing that.
Yeah,
they
they're
care
done
about.
with all the graphics and visual aesthetics of the game right now. It's just
So
little glitches that they have to
it's
fix.
all set, and I just feel so bad for people. Well, I feel bad because people actually think it. Like, they actually think, like, well, the game's not coming out for 2 months. It's like, you can't change like, updates don't change graphics. Updates fix bugs and stuff like that, but they don't make the game look better, particularly. So, I mean, maybe in a few instances, I'm not saying
There are
that.
rare cases. They don't add anything like super huge though in terms of visuals. Like
Yeah.
something very minor always.
So, and the Real Comic Gamer says Batman got Botox. That has 20 thumbs up. I didn't even see that comment until now. He really did. If you saw the Arkham Asylum side by side, have you seen that?
He looked like Arkham Origins Batman.
Yeah.
He literally did. This huge chin. He looked like the Crimson Chin. If you remember that.
His face, he looks so tan. He looks like he got a spray tan too. If you saw that, and when he's taking the asylum. But that's just
Jersey
because.
Use of vibrant colors.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm interested with Arkham Asylum. Again, I'm from a camp of I just want to play the damn game, so I'm getting it. I already got my pre-order, and I'm going to do a full walkthrough, so that's just kind of how it is for me. But, a lot of people, a lot of Arkham fans that were initially very excited following the content before we got the announcement, like, I'm very excited for this, and then I see those very same people in the comments like, I'm not buying this. So, it is what it is. So, all right.
I was excited for.
Yeah, and then like, and I think as well there was a little bit of optimism in all of us that we were kind of like, well, maybe they'll add this, maybe they'll add at least something, at least some side missions, maybe some skins, but it certainly does not look like that's the case.
Even
Especially
other minimal remasters, like the Uncharted remasters, almost nothing new except that they carried over the skins from the next game. Say Uncharted 1, it's a very ugly game. They made that kind of look better, and then they brought over the skins from Uncharted 3 and put it into that game, and it wasn't difficult at all. So they can at least do that for the Arkham games. At least that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Because as we were talking about before we started the show, Asylum has one skin. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Only one skin. And then compared to like Arkham Knight, where like literally here's what blew, like honestly, this is what blew my mind when I started making Arkham videos, is that Arkham fans fucking love skins, and I don't understand it. I just don't care that much. Like, I have my go-to skins, but what I found with Arkham Knight is that all the skins that I liked were free. Whether it be the Dark Knight, whether it be Batman, those are all free skins. So your $40 is getting you, well, I'm trying to think of a really shitty skin. I don't know. Like, I guess some people like...
Arkham Origins skin.
Yeah,
really
like...
weird.
Yeah, like, you have to pay for that. You have to
I
pay...
liked that personally.
yeah.
He just looks really bugged.
Origins
Like,
fanboy.
Yeah, that's fair to say. It just looked a bit weird with the face. That's it.
Well, he does have the Dark
Personally.
Knight suit as well. His face looks really weird.
The Dark Knight Returns suit, where he's
Who
really
gives a
fat.
fuck about that?
That one was fucking weird.
The
only other cool skin that you get with the season pass, sorry for cutting you off so
No,
much,
you're good. Keep going.
is the 2099 Batman skin. That one was pretty good. The PC one, where he has no cape until he actually starts gliding.
Oh,
The
shit.
little-
Oh yeah, Batman Beyond, yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
have
that-
that. I'm on Xbox. You
But
fucking
anyway.
losers! God damn it, I hate you. Okay, no, yeah, and I don't have the
No,
Adam
that's
West
not an
skin
Xbox. That's not a PlayStation exclusive skin.
either. Well, once again, this shows you how little I fucking care about skins. Like, I like the Batman v Superman skin, I like the Dark Knight skin, but everybody's like,
Yeah.
oh, when's this skin? I don't fucking care. I just want to play the damn game. I want new side missions. That's what I want in my
The two
DLC.
skins you didn't get was one Justice League 3000 skin,
3000.
which was
And then
Pretty
you got
good.
the 1960s one,
in
that
the
you didn't get either,
1960s skin,
which you
was
got completely
trash.
ripped off.
And
from.
we have a fucking Batmobile for it, and we don't have the skin. How does that make sense?
The skin is trash for the Batmobile. It's just a red tint on
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
ugly.
Sure.
Pretty much it.
And then
Okay.
you're missing a whole side mission, the Scarecrow missions. You're missing that too.
Yeah, I heard that sucks though.
No, it's
Would
okay.
Would it be possible to bring the skins from City into Asylum?
Yes.
Definitely. Yeah.
I think they should do that.
But they won't, because they don't have to. At least I don't think they will. But that's kind of the pessimist in me, and I'm kind of an innate pessimist a little bit. So, I would be surprised if they do, but again, like, I would just think at some level they would have already be promoting this. They're like, hey, we're adding this, we're doing more than we have to.
But then again, E3 is around the corner, so they might say it then.
What don't you get? Go ahead.
This game is 2 months from shipping and going everywhere. There was no gameplay in the announcement trailer. There was gameplay in the, what other game? What other remaster had gameplay? Master Chief Collection had a ton of gameplay 11 months before it was shipped. In this game, 2 months before it was shipped, nothing.
It seems very much so like an afterthought of sorts to me.
Yeah, shoehorned.
Mm-hmm. But
yeah, they were working on this for 10 months tops. I'm calling it.
But we'll have to see what we get in terms of other DC and Arkham games, because it certainly feels, to me, very irreverent in a way that, like, why are you doing this? And in that way, it leads me very curious. I think something's going on in terms of, I guess maybe it comes out at the same time as Telltale Batman, and they think that Arkham fans are going to be playing that, and then that will parachute nicely into the Telltale Batman. I'm not sure. I'm not a businessman, so.
Again, like, sorry, I keep bringing up Uncharted, but Uncharted Master Collection came out in November last year, with Uncharted 4 coming out this year. Now, that's to appease the people who had the 360 and didn't have a PS3 and never had a chance to play Uncharted, so that when the new one comes out, they can get that. So I feel like they're doing that with people who have just got, like, the PS4 as their first console, so they want to experience the other Arkham games, and they can't. So that's why they're bringing them over. So I'm guessing there's going to be another Arkham Knight sequel made by WB Montreal pretty soon, a couple years.
I don't know if you saw this statistic. It was remarkable. It was like 40% of PS4 owners have played an Uncharted game, or something ridiculous like that, like a minority of people. Like, most PS4 owners have never played Uncharted, so that's why they did that as well, going off what you said.
Uncharted is a huge PlayStation series.
Yeah.
Like, huge.
And at PS4, like, a lot of PS4 owners, as you know, were 360 owners, and they switched to PS4 for this gen. So that's what they found, that was a good move to remaster that. I think it helped Uncharted 4 quite a bit. So, any other thoughts on Return to Arkham? That's about all I've got to say. I'm getting it.
Same.
But
I haven't
we'll
got.
see.
Yeah.
Okay. So, last thing we have to. This is the last thing, right, to talk about?
Yeah.
Okay, so.
And then you got that bonus stuff about the Captain America.
Oh, we might get to that. That might be a bonus part for Patreon. I'm just kidding. We don't have a Patreon. Okay, so Batman.
People that give us money.
It will get very ranty if we do that. From my part, away. Okay, so Batman in Suicide Squad. Now, this has come from Batman News, right? Batman/News, like that. Yeah. That source. And I believe him. He's a pretty viable source, I feel, and pretty legit. So. Apparently, he has a friend that has seen the movie, correct? Or an associate? He hasn't seen it, I know that.
I haven't seen that.
Okay. So here's what he said. This is basically what his report is. And allegedly, Batman does interact with Harley Quinn. His interaction with the Joker is minimal, if existent at all. However, there is a flashback scene with Deadshot, with Batman in the movie. And there's also some other surprises where Batman actually with Deadshot in real time, and also with Deadshot in terms of a flashback, which apparently the scene with him and Deadshot is a tearjerker, from what I heard. So what am I missing? I think that's about it, right? So that's Batman's involvement. He's in the chase scene at the beginning, and he somehow meets up with Deadshot, but he does not have a full-on brawl with the entire Suicide Squad. I don't think anybody was expecting this. I certainly wasn't.
Nah.
But he does have maybe an involvement greater than that of which the trailer suggests. So what do we think about that?
I think he's very much going to be like a Spider-Man type thing, kind of thrown in there, just as like a little side thing, you know? Like, of course, we know that he saves Harley out of the water, and then he's on top of the Lamborghini, or whatever that car was, with Joker and Harley in it. So I think he's only going to be in it for like a slight thing, kind of like a nod to the movie that came out, 3 months prior? 5 months, I think, right?
I think it's just a case of broadening the extended universe a bit more.
Yeah.
Saying, oh yeah, this is the same Batman for Batman and Superman. We're going to put him in the Suicide Squad so everyone knows this is part of the same universe.
The problem is DC can't do what Marvel's done because nobody's seen the DC movies. I can tell you a lot of people that are going to watch Suicide Squad will not have seen either Man of Steel or Batman v Superman.
Yeah, Suicide Squad will has a bigger marketing pool towards, say, women who love Harley and stuff like that. And so they're not, well, the critical panning of Batman v Superman probably turned off a lot of fans from seeing the movie. It's probably what stopped it from hitting the $1 billion mark, is the fans that didn't see the movie because of the, what is it now, 39% on Rotten Tomatoes?
29,
they saw that.
29.
Jesus.
27, no, isn't it?
It might be 27.
But since that never happened, then they're not going to want to see Batman v Superman. So now I think this is going to help Suicide Squad because a lot of people are going in there with like fresh eyes. They didn't know it's connected. And it's not in any of the TV spots from what I know. Like nobody's going out of their way to like show it in TV spots unless they've not released any.
No, they haven't released any yet.
So I'm guessing the people who see the movie and are like, hey, that's Ben Affleck as Batman. I guess they're in the same universe. That'll be a little thing for them too. So everyone will get it in a way. I'm sure.
Yeah, but this is the thing. Those who know that Batman v Superman was a bad film, possibly because they come to the conclusion that Zack Snyder, he messed this whole thing up. They're going in with those who know it is connected. They're going in with fresh eyes, and they're going to know that David Ayer's directed it. And David Ayer's got a particularly good track record in terms of movies, minus Sabotage, because Sabotage, the Arnold Schwarzenegger film.
I'm looking up what he's done. I'm trying.
But all the other films like Fury.
He's done Fury, which I have seen, which is great. That's a great.
Fury's really good.
Oh, I've seen SWAT. He did that. Oh, he was a writer, not a director. Let's see. Sabotage, Fury. That's the tank movie, right?
End of Watch, yeah. And then there's End of Watch.
Yeah, which is
that one's
also good.
Cop movie. That was a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's just everything minus Sabotage, which he wrote, of course.
Sabotage also got good critic ratings, though. I think it got like a 74% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Sabotage got like 15.
Really?
Yeah, Sabotage was,
Slikk, can you check that?
It got shot on?
Yeah, Sabotage.
Box office. Oh my god, it had a $35 million budget? What the hell? And it only got $5 million opening weekend? It grossed $18 million.
Ouch.
Batman v Superman made $200 its opening weekend. and that movie got 18 in total.
It did have a huge drop-off, to be fair, because Batman v Superman, it was a 68% drop-off, which is huge for a film.
And
that's actually...
No, it was higher. It had
above
71.
Average.
And then Civil War had a huge drop-off as well.
Yeah.
But it had more people. It had a less big opening weekend, but it still made more money in the next week that it dropped off.
It did.
Because it made... Yeah. So now they just crossed the $1 billion mark, I think, for Civil War.
Yep.
And I think it's going to cap off at around 1.1 billion.
That's it?
And probably.
Yeah.
The movie's been out for a couple weeks.
It won't make... I thought it would be like 1.5.
No,
not now.
Really?
Avengers hit 1.5 in 3 days. Not like a week, I think. Like Avengers 2, Age of Ultron. It hit $1 billion really fast compared to this movie, which has been out for about 12, 13 days before it hit the $1 billion mark. So
exactly.
Maybe there is a little bit of superhero fatigue. Maybe that's valid.
I hope so, genuinely.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that, H-Man?
Because movies like, what's that one cop movie that came out recently with Gosling, the really good one?
Oh, The Nice Guys.
The Nice Guys. That movie utterly got destroyed at the box office by a superhero movie, an animated video game movie, Angry Birds, and a sequel. I forgot what sequel. What sequel's coming out this month? Neighbors 2. Neighbors 2. And
Neighbors
that means
2's really out here.
I heard it's really good, but like...
It's good.
Nobody's going to watch it. Everybody's going to watch Civil War.
Nobody's going to watch the movie that's original because they know that this will make money, this will make money, and this will make money, and they're all good films, in a way. And so people are just going to go with the sequels and the superhero movies and all that, while not giving these movies that are not based on any source material a chance. That's why a lot of movies are failing, and that they're going to start making more expanded universes and sequels and things like that. That's why I'm a little fatigued myself.
In fairness, getting a ticket to a Marvel movie is probably your safest investment of any movie anywhere. Like, if you're buying a ticket and you see a Marvel movie, I'm going to want to go to that because, like, there's a very, very low likelihood it won't be enjoyable on some level. Now, if we're talking about Fox movies, different story, or X-Men or something like that. And that's not, you can't say that for Batman v Superman. Like there's a chance, or the DC movies, like there's a chance that you're gonna hate, the DC movies, at least up to this point, if depending on what you like or what you don't. But Marvel movies are far more accessible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely. Kind of like Battlefield and Call of Duty. Call of Duty's more casual. Call of Duty's Marvel. Battlefield's DC. That type of thing,
Yeah, exactly. One's more Latin than the other.
So, back to Batman and Suicide Squad. Do you think that, I don't know, I feel almost... I do want to see Batman, but I feel that they should be cautious and maybe... You can't wear out Batman. That's the wrong choice of words. You can't.
Don't oversaturate him, because then that just takes. Don't oversaturate him, because then that just takes away from the whole purpose of Suicide Squad. They can't do that because it's a film titled Suicide Squad.
In Batman v Superman, it felt more like a Batman movie than like a Superman movie, and we don't want that in the Suicide Squad. We don't want to be Batman and Friends, Batman and Co. Kind of like how
Batman versus the Suicide Squad. Batman versus Thanos. What if they name that Justice League? Or I mean, not Thanos. Darkseid. Yeah. That would be funny if they did that.
Batman and Friends versus Darkseid.
Batman and Co. versus Darkseid. Oh, that's funny. Now, I would not be surprised if they just put Batman in the name of every movie from now on. Like Batman and the Birds of Prey.
Don't oversaturate Batman. Let the Suicide Squad have their desired screen time. Maybe include him in one or two scenes there and there, here and then. But
featuring Batman.
I think that Batman solo movie is going to be shit out faster than any other movie in cinema history. Like, I think that movie is going to be fucking not shit out in like a bad way, like shit out in the sense of like making it so fast, like.
But it's rushed.
Yeah, they're going to go fast on that because that's like their moneymaker. That movie's going to make $1.5 billion. But then again, I said that Batman v Superman was guaranteed to get $1 billion, and it didn't. So who knows? It could not.
Said that you thought it was going to make more money than Star Wars Episode 7.
Yep.
You were like, this movie's going to make
I thought it was going to be the biggest movie of all time.
Yeah, no, personally, I thought it was going to make more than Star Wars as well.
But why could it not? It's Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, exactly.
Batman, the most popular comic book character, maybe, and Superman, the most iconic character in entertainment history, fighting. How is that? I don't know.
I took this quiz in geography class, literally about like the world's biggest logos, the most recognizable logos, and you jot them down. Sure enough, the Batman logo and the Superman logo were both on that.
I know it's not an S. Somebody's going to say that. I got to correct that. Somebody's going to say, I know. Fucking. Yeah. Okay, anyway, sorry. What were you saying? Good.
I was saying that, like, on the world's most recognizable emblems, because there is a listing for it, there will either be, or both, a Superman logo and a Batman logo. That's just a guaranteed fact, because they are two of the most recognizable entertainment emblems of all time.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's really nothing like that if we're talking about Marvel besides the Spider-Man thing. I mean, Captain America is just America colors, but Spider-Man is on that level, like the Spidey.
You got the little shield, but that just looks like a star.
Yeah. Yeah. But the Bat, oh man, that's big. That's big time, and they charge big money if you want to. I was thinking about making T-shirts, but like, no, you can't do it. Like,
the thing is, the Batman logo is that you can't just make it like a bat outline.
Yeah.
The thing is, the copyrighted Batman emblem is literally a oval that's yellow with a black bat in it. That's like always the emblem that everyone sees, and that's the most recognizable. And Superman, that's just the S.
Yeah,
to be
you
honest.
can't.
It's the same.
If you fuck up the Superman emblem, you're an idiot. That type of thing.
Right. But Suicide Squad to me is really interesting, and I really hope that one's good. And if not, then well, I mean, they can't scratch the DCEU at this point, and nor should they. But that's where WB would get really iffy if that movie doesn't make a ton of cash. And now, I mean, DC might start looking at, well, what can we do to move towards Marvel? And that's what I think they're going to do. Jeff Johns said today that actually, news report today, that he's going to try to, it's going to be filled with hope. The DCU is going to be more hopeful.
Hope and optimism, yeah.
And that's a direct shot at Zack Snyder, obviously. It's not a bad thing, but it's not a good thing. The movies have to be good. And to me, Batman v Superman was a very good movie, so...
You're wrong, though.
I am not wrong. It's an opinion. Opinions aren't wrong.
Movies are opinionated topics, everyone.
I'm joking.
I know. But, I mean, that's not what audiences want right now. And they,
Like, the cinema score. I don't know if you follow what that is. They basically they screen it in certain movie theaters and make the audience give it a rating. This movie got a B- on the rating scale, while Catwoman, the horrible movie, got a B+. That just shows that audiences like this movie less than Catwoman and Batman and Robin, which I think is
At least they were funny.
Yeah, sort of going off topic with Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
What about Birds of Prey? Because I know that's looking into production very soon. Do you think Batman will play a role in that?
Awesome. That will be.
Well,
of course.
they had a TV show. They had a TV show a while ago. If anyone remembers that.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
What's Ben Affleck's? What would Ben Affleck's involvement as Bruce Wayne be in Birds of Prey?
Why don't they bring in somebody else from the Justice League into that?
He wheels Barbara Gordon.
Yeah, but there's no one else
Wait,
to really
say,
connect to those characters apart from.
He has a little cameo where he wheels Barbara Gordon into her computer.
You're such an asshole. She's gonna be Batgirl. It doesn't matter. Of course, she's gonna be Batgirl.
No, she's not.
Yes, she will.
She's gonna be crippled.
No, she's not.
Let's be honest with herself.
She's gonna be Barbara Gordon. No, but then again, Zack Snyder led the DCU, so he's gonna be
Snyder
like...
killed off. Killed off Superman's best friend.
I bet in the R-rated. I bet in the R-rated cut. I bet in the R-rated cut, Barbara Gordon probably got like they're gonna show like Barbara Gordon like literally getting raped by the Joker, because that's what Zack Snyder. If you don't get the joke, that's what Zack Snyder said. He wanted Batman to get raped in Batman Begins by somebody in prison. So.
Batman to get bungled. He's a fucking weirdo.
It was sort of the same thing in Watchmen as well. So and 300, I think, and Rise of the
Watchmen
Empire.
300. Zack Snyder basically said that he doesn't read comics that don't have gratuitous sex, blood, and gore. And Watchmen and 300 both include those two.
So why is he making a Batman and Superman movie when hardly any graphic novel except The Killing Joke has that sort of content in it?
He also said that's a great point, but he also said that he wasn't really interested in Batman until The Dark Knight Returns. And I want Zack Snyder as far away as my Batman solo movies I can get him, because I can't have Dark Knight Returns addicts directing a Batman movie. I think that's just the wrong direction to go with.
With Batman and Superman, I think he was too infatuated and so gobsmacked, like, not gobsmacked, but like so, such a fanboy of Dark Knight Returns that he completely forgot about everything else important about the movie. Like, because that's why it was primarily a Batman movie. He was like, yes, I've got my hands on Batman. I'm going to interject as much Dark Knight Returns as I can. And what we got was what we got. It was essentially a Batman movie.
Basically,
Superman.
His mindset was, wait, I get to direct a Batman movie. Let me base it off the shittiest Bat book there is.
Yeah. The Dark Knight Returns sucks ass. I don't care what anybody says. That book fucking blows. That's my personal opinion, though.
I think it's good. It's just a bit overrated, to be honest.
It's very overrated in the slightest.
I like it, though. It's okay. As like an Elseworld story. Definitely.
Exactly. As an Elseworld story. As it's meant to be an out-of-canon book, which it is. But the thing about Zack Snyder, it's remarkable to me, is that as the big comic book fan he is, and he talks in interviews about how, like, oh, well, this is based off the comic book aesthetic, it's remarkable to me that he makes the most non-comic accurate movies.
I see Zack Snyder as, like, the average DC fanboy. They don't read comics, they just read, like, the big graphic novels, so that's all he knows. So he's just like, Dark Knight Returns and Death of Superman, let's do it in the second movie. So that's how
He'd done that with Watchmen as well, to the point where Alan Moore asked him to change the story around a little bit, I think, and that's where fans really got really annoyed with him, because the story was changed around so much, it was noticeable. I mean, I
with the big blue guy, Dr. Manhattan needs to stay the same.
Exactly.
But I was just watching that.
Are we also going to talk about that? Do you think we should cover that a little bit?
What
was that, man? Say again.
Should we cover how Watchmen is canon to the DC?
Maybe. I'm not 100% sure if it is. I just heard it in the podcast today.
I was watching the same podcast that you watched, and the guy said that Dr. Manhattan caused the new multiverse type thing, so that could make Watchmen canon. Could. But we don't know yet. So maybe another topic for another day.
Wait for Rebirth.
Yeah.
Which hopefully we're going to cover.
Which is tonight,
time.
Baby. Ooh, actually, in like 5 hours, I'm leaving to go get DC Rebirth.
I don't think this podcast is going to last 5 hours.
No, I know. We're almost done, basically, at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
But, let's see.
Should we get on to the bonus stuff?
I think
If
so,
you
yeah.
want me to talk about it, I can.
You want me to talk about it?
Okay,
Yes.
I'll intro it and then I'll let HMA talk because he'll be funny about it. Okay, so last night on Twitter there was a trend going, and it was called Okay, here's the title. I'll read it from Twitter. This is from the top. This is the number one moments, under the moments section on Twitter. Okay, the title is this: everyone, not 99% of people, everybody wants Captain America to have a boyfriend. Trending. We all grow up with role models, and it should be no different for the LGBT community. As such, Twitter user... Oh, they changed it. Twitter user, the new what the hell, dropped the hashtag give Captain America a boyfriend, and the world quickly followed suit. What it was before this, when I recorded my commentary that I decided not to upload, it said, as such, everybody is asking Marvel to give Captain America a boyfriend. And I was like, I'm not doing that. I don't know anybody who is, honestly, on Twitter. Everybody I follow was like, hell no. But to me, here's what I'll say is weird about this. And that statement, I think, is very telling, what they have right here. It says, we all grow up with role models, and it should be no different for the LGBT community. This is weird to me. Like, I've never understood this. The notion that, like, if you're gay, you can't relate to a straight person. You don't relate to Captain America because he's heroic and cool. No. You relate to him because he likes penis just like you do. That's weird to me. I don't understand that. I relate to Batwoman fine, and she's lesbo. I'm not
Batwoman?
gay. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Batgirl.
Yeah, no. Batwoman, she's lesbian.
It doesn't matter if you like clits or cocks. You can relate to anything.
That's
just
R-rated.
the character behind it that really makes him relatable.
Okay,
HMA,
what were you...
about sexual orientation.
Okay, HMA, what were you going to say? Sorry.
Well, earlier I like how you were like, we're going to make Peter Parker gay because you were referencing to this. Now, The thing is, you cannot make Peter Parker a Peter Puffer. That just won't work with the character. The character will... It's not that he isn't gay, it's just that his love interests are so notable by themselves. When Stacy, Mary Jane, and then for Captain America, you have, like, Peggy, who, by the way, is dead now, and, not Peggy, Peggy, and then Agent 13. Agent 13's a notable love interest. Everyone knows who she is if you read the comics. So she's her own character, and one of her main things is that she is a love interest to Captain America. That's one of her main aspects of her character.
Yeah.
And people were like, we want Bucky and Cap to get together. And I'm just like, two men who were raised in a time period, in the 40s, by the way, where you could literally be prosecuted for being gay. Like, let's not... They couldn't do that. Back in the 40s, if you were gay in the UK, I don't know so much about the US, but I've seen The Imitation Game. Yes, I know everything, okay? But in the time, you could literally be prosecuted for public indecency if you were gay, which they would either A, years in jail, or B, they would make you take testosterone pills. That would fuck you up.
Right.
Hugely. So, I don't think that they can do it, A, because it's part of the character, and B, it's not a grounded thing. They're not gonna, like, new characters, like, say, Star Wars characters, they can make them gay if they want, because they're not already established characters.
Exactly.
But Steve Rogers is established, and he's an established hetero male, and
with
that's
love
just, I just
interests,
can't see them changing
with
that.
love interests, enough storylines that don't lead to that inclination of his sexual orientation.
That's like making... sorry, go on.
I just don't get what's the point. I don't. It's like it's just like they only want to do this in the name of equality or having an equal amount. Well, if we want to be honest with ourselves here, according to Pew Research and all the polls I looked at, and again going back to the argument of everybody needs a hero to relate to, and you can't relate to Captain America because he's heroic or he does the right thing. You relate to him because he likes penis just like you. It's weird.
I can take Martian Manhunter, and he isn't even a human. Literally different fucking species who probably has a different sexual preference than me. I can relate to him probably because he's asexual.
Right.
Better example, Superman. From another world, but everyone sees him as a sign of patriotism, heroism, hope, optimism.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter if you're gay or straight, to be honest.
In every way, Superman is as much of an American hero. I mean, he's a Kansas boy, so he's relatable in that level, on that kind of very grounded level. Yeah, I can't get behind this. I just don't understand why. Yeah, why are we making the one gay? This is the guy who has literally banged 7 generations of the Carter women. You know, like basically, he's balls deep in there. Okay, with all the Carter girls, and we want to make him gay. And now I heard that they're gonna make Captain Marvel gay. That's what the rumor is that they're
Captain
gonna make
Marvel?
they're gonna make
I don't
Captain
think they're
Marvel
gonna
gay.
make
Much of
Andrew
Captain
gay.
Marvel,
I don't
so-
see like. I don't care if someone wants the Bucky butt, but it better not be Steve Rogers. It better not be.
But the
And he
thing
has
is,
the whole
it has
long
to
hair
fit
thing,
the
and they don't know
character.
about that.
And where do we
Yeah.
draw the line? Should Batman be transgender? Should Batgirl?
Actually, I prefer going by Batwoman today.
Okay. Should Dick Grayson and Jason Todd have feelings for each other? Should I don't know. It's
Dick
just
takes the dick.
yeah.
Sorry, what?
Exactly. I wouldn't be surprised if they did it. And now Marvel's or DC's gonna jump on this. Like, oh, everybody wants gay characters, so now we can make Batgirl lesbian too, and she can have a nice little porno scene with Batwoman. It's like, oh, that's awesome. I don't want to see that. Sorry. Now, if we're talking about Scarlet Witch and Black Widow, I would watch that. Okay, but anyway, anything else? No, I don't want to. Okay, so. To me, it just seems pointless. And again, if you want to bring in a character that's gay, I mean, for example, Deadpool is pansexual. Why don't you do something with that? Because he likes all genders, I guess. I mean, I always viewed him more as asexual than pansexual per se.
Bisexual. It's bisexual.
Yeah, he likes both.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
Pansexual isn't like publicly like you can't be like I'm pansexual on like a form or something. Say if you're at the doctor's when they list your sexual orientation, it's always straight,
Gay or bisexual.
homosexual, and bisexual.
Right.
That's always what they list.
Yeah.
And the thing is, there's plenty of gay characters in comics. There's actually, if we're talking about proportions here, I mean, roughly 2 to 3% of the American, I don't know what it is in the UK, American population is gay, including closeted people that are not open, but they account for that when doing research. So more than 2% of comic book characters are gay. I can tell you. I mean, for example, in the Batgirl book, Barbara Gordon's best friend is transgender, and that's under LGBT, of course. And then there's a lot of, again, Batwoman is gay. There's a lot of other gay characters. Colossus, basically, kind of swings both ways kind of thing, even though he's, like, not even human. Anyway, you get the point. There's plenty, so why don't you just bring in a character that's actually gay rather than changing someone? And what really annoys me about it, I mean, here, I'll just go ahead and read some of the tweets just because they're hilarious. They're truly hilarious. And I love how they don't show any other perspective on the Twitter page. They don't show anybody else's. It's just, everybody that's for it. Okay, here's what Cole pinned, whatever his name is. Hashtag give Captain America a boyfriend. This would be the most iconic and beautiful thing, and a great way to give the LGBT plus community representation. Would it though? Would making a straight character that everybody knows as straight, making them gay for no reason other than in the name of social justice?
Like,
here's a picture.
Some of them. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, and then the second one is a picture of Bucky and Cap making out. Okay, go ahead. And
Well, the thing is, they're acting like it's a thing that would make him more big, but like, I personally don't have these views. But what about people that like don't like that kind of thing, like aren't supportive of the LGBT thing?
Mm-hmm.
That would turn off a lot of those people, and I think that it should be able to go out to everyone. Like, you know what I mean, right? Like, it shouldn't be able to turn off. And I'm sure most LGBT people don't care if it's a gay character as long as they're a good character. Like,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If you're gay, you shouldn't care about. And here's it's an irony. It is a flat out.
I don't
irony.
care if a character is gay and I'm straight.
It's a paradox because gay people say that being gay should be normalized, and even a tweet down here later on is like Captain America should have a boyfriend because it shouldn't be like not for kids, for people to be, because some people say that like kids shouldn't see normalized. Boys making out.
Yeah.
And but the thing is, it shouldn't be normalized. But then people turn around and say that like, oh well, if characters aren't gay, then I can't relate to them. That's a paradox in its form, in its truest form. If it should be normalized, then you shouldn't care if a character is gay or straight. If it's totally normal, it's no big deal, then don't make it a big deal. But what you're doing is you're making it a big deal, and you're disproving what you're saying, that you being gay shouldn't be a big deal, and I agree. I don't care if you want to be gay, but don't try to throw a hissy fit and like, we want a Bucky and Cap porno and Cap 4. Like, no, we don't. Nobody wants that. Here's a tweet again. Hashtag give Captain America a boyfriend. Bucky and Steve, because they've literally gone through heaven and hell for each other. It's like, yeah, they're great friends. Yeah. They're great friends.
Make it work for a character like Harley Quinn, because I've even searched it up and it just says Harley Quinn counts as an LGBT character.
No, she does not.
Yes, she does.
How? She's
had relationships with Poison Ivy. She's had relationships with like Poison Ivy.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yep, that's true. That's true.
Characters, A-listers like Iceman, Catwoman. All
okay,
have come out as gay as
Catwoman,
bisexual.
Catwoman's with Bruce Wayne, and some writers have tried to make her lesbian, but that's like
60s Batman. 60s Batman was a little gay.
Oh god. Yeah, a little gay, a lot gay. Okay, so hashtag give Captain America a boyfriend. Let him be happy with him. And it's a picture of them walking together, Cap and Bucky. Hashtag give Captain America a boyfriend because he and Bucky are each other's concept of home. Always have been, always will be. Oh, this one pisses me off. Hashtag give Captain America a boyfriend. Bucky, Sam, Tony, I don't care, just give him one. Heather, I don't fucking care about you. No, I'm just kidding. But that's what people are saying. And if you look at none of these people are comic book fans, and this is my concern with the MCU is that it's going so mainstream that they're turning it into a joke basically, and it's just like it's just like this checklist of like, oh, we've got a black character now in the Winter Soldier, and of course, I mean, he's a legendary character to bring in, but Falcon. Check. Oh, now we have a gay character.
Yeah. Wasn't Falcon one of the like first mainstream African American superheroes? I think that's one of those things, so. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, DC basically. I mean, let's face it. The only reason Cyborg's in the Justice League is because he's black, 100%. He's a B-list Teen Titan. There's no other reason for him to be there, and that's okay. I mean, I can understand that to a certain level, and that's a little bit more tolerable than that. And by tolerable, I mean, of course, basically putting someone in the Justice League that doesn't belong there for no reason.
Putting someone in there. Yeah, putting someone in there for the sake of putting them in there is not what they should be doing.
But that's what they did. And if they make Captain America gay, I will never watch an MCU movie again. Never. I will not. I'm making that bold of a statement. I would not watch another. Now, if they do something different, if they make something smaller, like if they make Captain Marvel gay, then that I would not be happy with that, but it would be tolerable. If Cappy and Bucky make out in Infinity War, I'm walking out. Like, I'm dead serious. Because at that point they've just given in to the hipsters and the pop culture nerds on Twitter, and they're not paying attention to the comics fans at that point, and that would anger me for that reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so any other thoughts on that? So that's our last topic. So anything else?
I mean, I can't really say much, to be honest.
That was good. I had a lot of fun. Thank you both for coming, and we'll upload that.
Yeah,
so I thought it turned out pretty well. Let us know what you thought about it. Any suggestions that you have. We want to do the face cam. Let us know if you want face cam. Let us know if you don't. We're going to work on trying to get it up on iTunes. If it is on iTunes as we upload this, it'll be linked in the description or whatever. We'll keep you updated there. Let us know what you thought about it, and if you want to see more, want to see it again. And what were you about to say? Sorry.
Fixing the next podcast.
Wait, what's in the next podcast?
I'm lagging. All right. If you wanted to discuss if you wanted to discuss certain topics in the next podcast and leave your comments and thoughts, or just get in contact with us in any way possible, we'll probably end up doing like a poll on Twitter or something to see what you guys want, so you can vote on there, and then whichever one gets the most votes, we'll obviously include that in our next podcast. Yeah. So yeah, that's definitely
what we're going to do. We want to see your comments and leave questions, specific questions, and we'll read the whole question. And read your name, of course, and then answer that. And if it's a general topic, just talk about blank. Talk about the Killing Joke. Then we'll do that if we're not already planning to talk about it, which we'll definitely talk about the Killing Joke and, Batman Telltale as that gets near and everything else like that. So, that's it. Hope you guys have enjoyed. And if you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up.